Welcome to Alpha Bites, where we serve up bite-sized insights to help you grow your business and your bank account. Our host, Alex Zinni, CEO of Alpha Key Digital, dives into the latest marketing trends, proven strategies, and actionable tips to scale your online presence. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, Alpha Bites delivers the keys to unlocking your success. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hi, everybody. I'm Alex Zinni, your host of Alpha Bites, where I sit down with business leaders and entrepreneurs to learn more about what makes them tick and to learn from their amazing successes. Our recent past guests include Dr. John Paul Stevens from Case Western Reserve University, Dr. Martina Moore of Moore Counseling and Mediation, Dr. David Gutman of Cleveland Nutrition, and Dr. Kara Ogren of Synergy Physical Therapy. This is our first season of episodes, so stay tuned for more great guests. But before we get into it today, we have a sponsor, and it's Alpha Key Digital. Located in the vibrant heart of Northeast Ohio, Alpha Key Digital delivers revenue-generating digital marketing solutions tailored to plastic surgeons, dermatologists, mental health professionals, and any private practice looking to grow their patient base. From cutting-edge SEO and social media strategies to high-performing websites and pay-per-click campaigns, our expert team is committed to driving measurable results that elevate your brand. So if you want to unlock your business's full potential, visit alphakeydigital.com/contact and get on Madison Hewitt's calendar for a free 30-minute audit and consultation. I want to make a quick shout out to the Willoughby Western Lake County Chamber of Commerce, where I met today's guest, Mr. Tony Picciano of Top Sales Success. Tony is a dear friend of mine and a great mentor. We've worked together over the years. I've seen him in action. He's truly a great mind in the space of entrepreneurship, building sales teams, and growing your pipeline. So Top Sales Success is the result of the unique experience and lifelong ambition of the founder, Tony Picciano. For over 40 years, Tony has worked in sales and sales management with a wide range of businesses from startups to Fortune 100 companies. Tony offers custom sales programs, strategic planning, and demand executive coaching, and is a DiSC Certified Practitioner. So, welcome to the show, Tony. It's great to have you on.
Thank you, Alex. I do appreciate it. Thanks for the introduction.
Of course. So let's just jump right into it. How did you start Top Sales Success?
Well, what inspired me was coming to realization of something that I've always wanted to do, and that is go into business for myself. So as I neared retirement, I started putting my plan together to launch a business consulting business to help small and mid-sized businesses grow and succeed. And so I started the whole process of going through what is the website, the name, and as we all know today, the website availability kind of drives what your name will be. And so I was lucky enough to have Top Sales Success available, and so I jumped on it. I want to continue to have a good purpose in everyday life, to try and contribute back to the entrepreneurial spirit that really drives this country. And I get a real thrill out of seeing business owners grow their business. What typically happens in most of my clients, they have the exact same need and desire. And that need and desire is to work on their business, not in it. But it just doesn't happen overnight, Alex, as you well know. So that's really what drove me, was having a solid purpose and contribute back and have enjoyment and fun in helping folks grow their business.
That's great, Tony. And I've seen your business personally grow as well as the result of your great services. And congratulations for jumping in and owning your own business. It's not for the faint of heart, but it is something that is very fulfilling. So one of the things that you specialize in is the DiSC personality assessment. For those who are listening, what is DiSC and how does it help them with their work life?
Well, DiSC provides a profile of predictable behavior. It actually goes back all the way to Hippocrates at 450 BC, believe it or not, of having the different personality types and how we are a blend of all those different personality types. DiSC stands for The D is dominant type personality. The I is influence type personality. S is steadiness. And the C is conscientiousness. To put faces on those, a D type of personality is Winston Churchill. Okay, he had to take charge of England and the entire world during World War II. And so he had to take charge personalities, right person at the right time. So he would epitomize a high D type of personality. An influence, Oprah Winfrey comes to mind as having that big personality where people, like being around her. The S, Mother Teresa, the good steadiness, or Mr. Rogers, a good, steady, very patient person that provides a good foundation for us and provides a steadiness that will provide a calmness about what's happening in everyday activities. And finally, conscientious, Mr. Spock, if you're, I think, Star Trek fan. And Bill Gates is a high C, where he wants all the facts and details necessary to accomplish feats. So we're a combination of all those personalities, but we do have a dominant, go-to profile. And we have an adaptive style, which we have to adapt to the environment that we're in. And then we have a natural style, which is our go-to to where we're wired. Profile and our discipline and personality. What the key to DiSC is, and I discovered this in the late 80s, and I was really fascinated by it. So ever since I would say 1986, 87, ever since then, in every organization that I'd led, I've incorporated DiSC into that organization because it was a real eye-opener. In order to understand others, you have to first understand how you see the world. We all make the assumption everybody sees the world the same way that we do, but that's not true at all. And the communication is really the key things that we really have to be cognizant of. You can walk into any business in the lobby and look around and say, I know what the issue and problems are here. Number one problem is communication. How'd you know that? Because it's more than two people involved. We're going to have a communication issue. So understanding how you want to communicate and how others want to be communicated to is really the key thing to effective communication, which allows you to, better present your ideas, your thoughts, your issues, your problems, and to engage with the other person that would have a positive effect on accomplishing those particular issues or problems, and then coming together to form a strategy to move the whole organization forward is really the key thing.
Mm-hmm. Are there any personality types that just can't get along in the workplace? Can a D get along with an I, or a C with an S, or does it not work that way? Does it not give that kind of analysis?
Okay, good question. If you look at a circle, upper right hand corner would be a D, upper left hand corner is a C, lower right hand corner would be a I, and a lower left hand corner would be an S. Typically, D's, the dominant personality, and an S, a more docile type of personality, are opposites, because a D is fast paced. They want to get things done, bullet points. Let's make it happen. Nothing personal. Let's keep on going, and they're a driver. Mm-hmm. Whereas an S is much slower. They're a little more sensitive and intuitive to others, and they have a slower pace. So that's an opposite that occurs, and so we have to. That's where really the conflict may come in. Then we have the I, the high I's, and the high C's. Those are opposites as well. An I is very personable. Most of my clients are high I's. They are filled with ideas, and details are not their strong point. Whereas a C wants details. They slow down. They want to have exactly what is occurring, and and need to understand the details of what is occurring. Whereas an I is not as much detail oriented. So there's a conflict there. So understanding how the how all the four interact with each other is really the key thing, and it all starts with ourselves, how we see the world. And if we see the world as a D, we have to be cognizant of that. That we have to understand that an S is we have to communicate differently to an S, and as they all move along as well. So there's different pace, there's different priorities of each of the different styles. So yeah, there is some potential for conflict, but that's what the whole purpose of having DiSC training is all about, is understanding that and then effectively communicate with one another.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could see how that would be extremely valuable for managers, business owners, anyone in a leadership position. Let's say you walk into an organization, Tony, and they asked you to give DiSC assessments. How do you start? Do you start with the leadership? Do you just do it across the board? What would be your method for coming into a new organization?
A great question. Okay, so everybody takes the same test. It's a series of about 20, what's most like me, least like me. And it's absolutely a brilliant assessment and of the profile. There's no right or wrong. It's who we are. So in an organization, I take the top tier of the organization that the business owner, whoever is running, or the CEO identifies as leaders within their organization. So they take a DiSC leadership profile. Now, the only difference is the training that occurs after they take the DiSC test. Then, if they have a sales team, we take the DiSC sales profile. If they're a customer service team, which is usually the rest of the organization, they take a DiSC service profile. And so, in each of those instances, I have the entire team together in the training of the overall DiSC and what it's all about, because they all have to understand each other, and we have some really kind of cool workshops that we have put together that they can have a chance to interact with one another. And there's a lot of epiphanies that occur during that particular meeting. And then the second meeting follows up, or a third, where I have a specific sales one, then a specific leadership one, and a specific customer service one. So the answer to that is, yeah, it takes between 2 to 3 different workshops to really have the complete package put together, so we can have all different perspectives involved in the process, so they can see how they could utilize this tool. What happens, a lot of people have taken DiSC and they say, oh, I've done that. So, well, has anybody ever taught you how to use this tool? What do you mean? And so that's what I do. I teach them how to use a very valuable tool that is what business is all about. Simon Sinek has a great quote. 100% of your employees are people. 100% of your customers are people. So if you don't understand people, you don't understand business. And that's what DiSC is all about.
Yeah, that's a great quote. I really like Simon Sinek. You actually turned me on to him, and I really enjoy some of his YouTube videos and stuff. So yeah, the DiSC personality patterns. Have you noticed any patterns that are among successful entrepreneurs or CEOs or business owners, and what can we learn from those patterns?
Okay, so vast majority, including yourself, Alex, are high I's. I would say all except one client who was a D is a high I, and full of ideas, entrepreneurial spirit, positive attitude, can win, can do, folks that you just love being around. And so that's who the majority of my clients are high I's coaching, because then once you have the 4 personality types, then it breaks it down into 15 subsets, which provides a little more detail for each of the personality types. So that's the common denominator. And I have a real weird one too. And don't ask me why. It's really, really interesting that the majority of my clients are the youngest in the family as well.
Interesting.
I think you are as well.
I am as well. Yes.
And so am I. So that's just that's not a DiSC thing. It's just a strange thing. But to answer your question, the majority of my clients are high I's.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that you think separates somebody who's, because I mean, there's so many variables, right? So it's impossible to just drill it down to one thing. But from what you see with successful, entrepreneurs, business leaders, what do you see people doing that sets them apart?
Okay, so that's a great question. I have to really think that one through. What sets them apart? What sets them apart is the fact that they have an idea and a thought, and they're driven by that. It's their drive and ambition that really makes that entrepreneurial spirit come to life. And they have a strong belief system in themselves, and also the core part of who they are as well. Their integrity, their willingness to help other people, enjoying being around other people, and having the desire to succeed with their passion. Now, it's great to have a passion, but you have to have a passion that can make money. And those are integrity and having the the belief in themselves to their core. Are really seem to be the common denominators, and they're just great to be around as well.
So I want to pivot a little bit and ask you more of like a personal question. So who is one of your mentors, and what's some of the best advice that you've ever received?
Wow. Okay. I have to go back many years. I had a national sales manager when I was a field sales rep, and my hair was dark brown at that time. And he was Dale. His name was Dale, and he was my mentor. And I learned a lot from him. And he was just a terrific role model for me that really drove my career at that point in time. And I'd have to broaden that up to a company that I worked for. And Simon Sinek would call this company today a company that plays in the infinite game. And back in those days, we didn't call it the infinite game. It was just the way they ran their business. And it was a company based that we manufactured exterior building products. And they were such leaders in the industry, and it really, really shaped my career. And I learned tremendous amount from them and how they led their organization and how they respected the folks within their organization, no matter who or what you were. They were just a fantastic company and business to work for. And the big driver there, Alex, as a takeaway, would be really focus on what you do, and don't worry. Don't worry about. You have to be cognizant of competition. I get that, but don't worry about it. Don't let them drive your business. And that particular company I worked for, we really didn't talk about our competition at all. We focused on what we were doing, and we had to do what we were doing the best we possibly can. And so great advice that I would give any organization is to, if you believe in yourself and that you have fair pricing, a quality service or product, then move forward. If you win a deal, you won it. If you lose a deal, so be it. You're not going to win 100%. But just understand that you have the character and integrity, and will provide the client the absolute best service or product that you can offer that is available in the marketplace for their value. proposition at that point.
Mm-hmm. So that's great advice, Tony. And it made me think of something that you've said to me a few times over the years, which is that some of the best deals are the deals that you don't make. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Sure. There are times where you don't want to. What happens is you don't want to have a desire, an overwhelming desire to win every battle.
Mm-hmm.
You have to win the battles that you want to, that are profitable for yourself and your business, and are not a high maintenance drag on your business. And so just not making a deal for the sake of putting something together because, hey, I had a lull in my business, those are mistakes. And I learned it from a guy a long time ago where it said sometimes the best deals are the ones you don't make. And as you walk away from that and you don't get that deal, you say, well, thank goodness I didn't do that, or we didn't come together on that. And so it's just, I guess the phrase came from being, don't try and get every deal. Mm-hmm. If it's not a profitable deal for yourself, then don't do it. And what really drives that is a previous comment on that, and that is, if you believe that you have a fair value proposition, and that particular client or customer or patient, whatever you call that person that writes a check to you, if they're a good fit for you and they see that you have the value that you're going to provide and are willing to pay for that value at that point in time, then that's a great deal. If you have to start compromising, that's not a great deal. Mm-hmm. It has to be win-win, as Stephen Covey says.
Mm-hmm. And especially, early on in my starting my company, when saying yes to everything, that's an important way to get traction in the beginning. But as time moves on and you want to scale your business, choosing your battles wisely, like you said, and taking the right people on, is super important. In your own business, Tony, what gave Top Sales Success traction to get results?
Let's see. My first client, this guy named Alex Zinni, he helped me quite a bit.
Was that your first client, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. First client. That's amazing.
Yeah. So it was 6 weeks after I launched my business, so it wasn't too bad. Okay, what was the question again, Alex? I'm sorry.
How did you get traction with your business to get it moving?
Okay, so I didn't launch my business to my previous industry. Mm-hmm. I just wanted to stay as local as I possibly can within a driving distance. And my previous professional career was coast to coast. And I have a lot of contacts from coast to coast. And I didn't launch my business because I really didn't want to travel in order to attain my dream of running my own business. So I just focused on the local business. I joined the chambers and all through networking, referrals, thanks to you as well, and some other key clients. But the chamber, Willoughby Chamber, Willoughby Western Lake County Chamber, I always mess that up, and the Mentor Chamber are two key parts of my strategy to gain traction, as the book Traction would say. And from there, I just built the business from there, and have earned the trust that my clients have put in me, which I take very, very seriously, and I'm humbled by that. And that I could be a part of their business and make an impact on their business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can remember meeting you at the East Lake City Hall, I believe. That was a great day, and one that I'll remember for
likewise.
Yeah. Going to these networking groups and joining your local chamber and going out and meeting people seems to be like a really great, way to start a business. What would you say to an entrepreneur who's thinking about, they're just starting, like put yourself back to where you were just starting. What made you go to the chambers specifically?
Well, my target market is business to business, and my target market is small to mid-sized businesses, and so that's our target rich environment, mm-hmm. and so that was what drove me. So what a business owner has to do is, and I do this in my strategic planning process, is understanding who their target market is. If you're business to business, business to consumer, and one particular client I have is business to government as well, which was kind of unique. So understanding who your target market is and who will find your products or service of value. And once you identify those that target market and the profile of that target market, then that's where you spend your money trying to attract that business. Because it's either time or money. Which one do you want to spend? And so you have to just pick from one of those. You have to be as efficient as you possibly can, no matter what the organization is. You have to be as efficient as you possibly can in order to go after your target market. And so that's one key way of understanding how to grow your business. Is who finds your products and services valuable, and identify it and attack it.
Yeah, that's a very common sense approach, and it works. And you were very strategic with that, and it worked to your advantage. And I think sometimes I'll see people start businesses, and they don't. Sometimes the things that are right in front of them, they can't see it. Something as simple as who is your target and where are they hanging out, right? That's just a very simple piece of advice that gets you moving in the right direction. What's a challenge that you've had to overcome, whether it's personally or professionally, that really shaped who you are in the direction that you headed in?
I think you're all shaped by your entire experiences, your family, your business experiences. There's no silver bullet there of anything that was a true identification of who or what I am, but we're the sum total of everything. What our personal beliefs are and values are, and our personal character and integrity, what they are, how you're shaped from there. But that's the only thing that comes to mind, Alex. We're sum total of everything. It's all about relationships, and we're social animals, human beings, and so we become a reflection of who we associate with, and the people that we associate with help us grow. I love to learn, and I learn from everybody that I come in contact, either good stuff or bad stuff, mostly good stuff, on a daily basis. And so just engaging with others and learning, and their examples that they set are always an impact for any individual.
It reminds me of the quote about there's no bad examples, right? There's only examples of what to do and what not to do. So I know I heard you mention about values and something. What's a big core value of yours that you try to carry with you in all of your aspects of life?
With that you truly believe in, that you really truly want to have a desire to make a positive impact wherever you come in contact. If a person, after they come in contact with me, and this is very humble, I become very humbled by the fact that if and we don't do it on purpose. Hey, I'm out there to help everybody. No, that's not the case. But if you have a good reputation and people have respect for you, which is really the key thing, is respect for yourself and others, and those are really the key factors of what really drives me: the character and the integrity and caring. And truly believing in what I'm doing, and as long as I make a positive impact on others, what drives me at this point, I'm a retired guy that I do something because I truly enjoy doing this, and I enjoy working with people and being around dynamic people like yourself. And it really drives me. I'd like to have a good conversation. And if I could be so bold as to say that, hey, that somebody said, you helped me out quite a bit. Wow. That's humbling. And I love that. That's what really drives. You have to have a purpose in life.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. What's one of your proudest moments? It doesn't have to be career, it could be in family and life, but just whatever comes to mind.
Boy, oh boy. Um, I would say, I say this from time to time. One of my proudest moments is I have two sons, and I never asked them to do this, but they called their mom just about every day. And so it was an accomplishment. I don't know if I did it or not, but I'm going to take credit for it.
Mhm.
But I'm very proud of that one. That's the first thing that comes to my mind.
That's beautiful.
They call their mom every day. When they call dad, there's a problem, an issue. But have them call mom every day is really, that's, I'm going to take credit for that accomplishment. I never asked them to do it. They did it. They do it on their own. And
Mhm.
I think it's pretty awesome.
That is awesome. Family is so important. It's just the backbone of everything in our lives.
You got it.
Do you have anything that you do on a daily basis? Anything that you read or anything that you do that's kind of like a daily ritual that you find important?
I love to read. I usually read one or two books at the same time. It depends upon where I'm sitting in the house. And I like to read, all depends. During this summertime, I like to read nonfiction, mind numbing books. And then during the wintertime, I don't know why, but during the wintertime, um, I read fiction during the summertime and nonfiction during the wintertime. So, um, read a couple of fascinating things. I'm in the process of reading. I have an uncle that was killed in the Battle of the Bulge, and so I'm reading about his specific. I found a book about his specific division, and so it's really really cool and interesting to read about that. So that's what I enjoy. I love to read. Like Gandhi said, live as if you will die tomorrow, and learn as if you will live forever. And so
Mm.
I enjoy learning, and I do read uh, business books. What I have found that a lot of the, I hate to say it this way, but they just change the words
Mhm.
on things, and impactful breakthrough ideas I haven't seen. Simon Sinek is an exception. I like him quite a bit, and so I do read about his books and listen to his YouTubes as well.
Mhm.
Um, but that's what I enjoy doing because you have to enrich yourself and continue to grow and learn, which is really cool.
Mhm. What's on your nightstand right now, or what are you reading?
I'm reading. I think, gosh, it's that book about the 394th, 99th Division. They were the tip of the spear at the Battle of the Bulge, and that particular December 16th, 1944. That's when my uncle received his Bronze Star.
Mhm.
And then on the last day of the Battle of the Bulge is when he died. He was killed in action. But I did recently. I just got done reading a book called The Wager. It was a ship, a British ship, and it's a fascinating story about human nature. And they were shipwrecked, mutiny supposedly. It was a multiple things, and it was a real testament to human survival and tenacity. So that was really really cool. I enjoyed that book quite a bit. I recommend it to anybody.
Mm. Wow. So before I ask you my final question, and I always like to ask a little bit of a off the wall question at the end, but before I do that, Tody,
Yeah.
I want to point people to your website and a way to contact you. So what's your website for people to visit?
Well, the www topsalessuccess.com. Okay. It's a long one, but it is what it is. And or Tony at Top Sales Success is my email or phone number. I have a couple phone numbers. 440-497-0335 is my local one. And then I have a 419-350-4008 is my other one. But just go to my website and give me a call or send me an email is the best way to get a hold of me.
Yeah, so for all those listeners, entrepreneurs, business leaders, if you want to learn about DiSC, if you want to learn about sales, and there's so many different ways Tony can help you, just visit topsalessuccess.com. We'll put that information in the show notes on our website so that people can easily find it and get to you. But I know that you're a musician, Tony. And what instrument did you play, or do you play?
Okay, so I learned on the accordion, and then I played the piano, and so I can't say I'm any good at it anymore. I haven't practiced. I bang on it every once in a while, but I enjoy the challenge of trying to accomplish and play a song that everybody can recognize.
Well, I know you were in a band though, and that band was it in the 70s that you were playing?
Yeah, well, let's see, very late 60s, 68 through 71. That was the height of the band area in the Cleveland area, and they used to go see Joe Walsh play at the Menor Hullabaloo, and right across from the mall there. The building's not there anymore, and but had a great time. Tremendous memories. Had some really good musicians in that group, and so yeah, it was very enjoyable. A lot of great memories.
What was your favorite song to perform with the band?
Oh boy. That's a good one. I had so many. I don't know. There are just so many. I just can't. Nothing would come to mind, Alex. Sorry about that.
That's okay. What about do you have a genre that you guys like to play? Was it rock? Was it?
Back in the day, we played. We had a horn in our band. We played Chicago, Blood, Sweat, and Tears, Motown. And then when I went to college, All Occasions group with my cousin, and we played all kinds of music for whatever occasion it was. So we had a large repertoire of songs that we played, depending upon what group we were playing at. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we had the high school band was my favorite.
Wonderful. Well, Tony, we've been talking with Tony Picciano here from Top Sales Success. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Stay tuned for further episodes and make sure that you share this. Tony, thank you again.
Thank you, Alex. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Alpha Bites. If you found today's insights valuable, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share the podcast with your network. Let's keep the conversation going. Connect with us on social media or visit us at alphakeydigital.com/alphabytes. Remember, the keys to your digital success are just a bite away. See you next time.